Hello, welcome back. Today, if you want to know how to just scale your lifestyle, we have a lifestyle coach here as my guest today. Today is the segment that I'm calling the Business Checkup. So we are going to talk to Miss Rukshana Triem, and she is from Portland, Oregon, by way of Mozambique. And she is a lifestyle coach. And then she also hosts a fabulous African fashion show every single year. And so we're going to talk to her about her business. And then we're going to talk to her and about her marketing and her operations a little bit and see how she's interacting with her clients and customers and see if there's any gaps and if we can help to fill those gaps, like what suggestions we can come up with. Okay. So, without further ado, meet Miss Rukshana Triem.
Thank you, Simone, for having me here. I'm so happy to be here and share this platform with your community as well.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. So let's dive right in. Let's talk to me a little bit about your lifestyle coaching. How did you get started with it? And how do you work with your clients? What do you do for your clients?
I love that. Yes. So how I got started is I was a former teacher, a preschool teacher, and a family advocate for advocating for families in the courthouse and also doing training for parents to get their children back from the court system through foster care. I loved it so much that I felt like I was working, I was doing trainings, and I wasn't getting paid for my value. So then I went off to to apply for my coaching certification and also to hired a coach to start on my business. So my business really I designed it as a lifestyle coach because I wanted to create a life that's very fun. And when I say fun is I wanted to spend time playing, I wanted to spend time doing the projects that I love, that I thrive in, and I wanted to help specifically women to create that lifestyle that they see. So my first year, working with a coach, I put a plan together on the things that I want to do that gives me so much joy and I can get paid through it. So I love doing retreats. So in a retreat, I would offer like goal setting, but I also love doing goal setting because that's what I used to do with my family advocate. I would help the teenagers I was working with small goals and then families with long-term goals. So the goals would be mental health, physical health, financial, like all those things. I started putting it together in my retreats, and I would call them women's lifestyle retreats. So they would be with me for the weekend and create that vision that they want to see themselves in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 6 years from now, how their health looks like, what their money is like, their finances is, and how their relationship with their children and their families, or if they want to start a business. Because I was in the midst of that. Through the retreats, I would take them on a hike. I would make them be comfortable with their bodies. I said, what you're resisting is also the mind stuff that you're resisting to create. And then if they wanted to continue working with me after the retreat, then they would hire me as a one-on-one coach to work with them for 6 months to a year as they're planning those goals. And then every quarter, I would do a follow-up system where I would do like a goal setting, a check-in, where I would offer those services. Okay, where we at, and let's continue dreaming and continue being around those positive women to continue to be, because when we're surrounded in a positive environment, it's easy to expand and grow. So my women's lifestyle coaching is now this year, as July 16th, is 8 years, and I've been doing that for 8 years, and it has grown like no other. So when you have one business and the product has worked, you figure out different ways you can offer different services under the same business for your clients, because your clients are growing. You cannot offer the same thing over. You have to figure out different ways to be creative, to keep adding different value to them. So with the retreat came in coaching. With the coaching came in public speaking, because they wanted to write their book and share their book on stage. So I was able to create a platform, kind of like a TED Talk style, where women share their stories on stage for 20 minutes experiences, because I believe storytelling, part of vulnerability, also pushes us forward to move forward. It doesn't hold us back. And through that, I've been able to work with a lot of businesses, a lot of women businesses. I've been able to share different platforms at different stages and doing trainings through that. So here I am. So a couple years ago, before 2020, I wanted to give back to my community where I came from. Originally, I came from Mozambique, and I wanted to go back and give back to the education system. And that's how about I started an African fashion show, because I was working with a couple kids over there in the trade school program in Mozambique, and they gave me some of their clothes to bring it here. And I would have these clothes, and I have a little party, dinner party with wine and a few friends, and they would try some of these clothes, and then they'll buy it, and then the money will go back to the school with the kids. So that evolution grew into not only a mini fashion show in my house, it grew into a production fashion show in the house. So once in a year, we host a fashion show, a big theater production that brings about 300 to 400 people. It's music, dance, and collaborative. It's really a lot of local businesses are involved here in the Pacific Northwest where I live. A lot of artists are involved. It's really about supporting local businesses, but yet with fundraising for the money to go to Mozambique to build schools. So that is I call it my fun project that doesn't pay a lot, but it brings client in return, because I've been
Mm.
hosting it for the last 5 years. It has brought a lot of clientele, people who want to put a production together, or want to put a fashion show together. So I have been having so much doing that, because it is like a playground. It is definitely creating a playground with the things like, I want to bring culture to Portland, in the city that I live. I want to bring African dance. I want to bring drumming. I want to bring fashion with the African diaspora, or, face tribal painting and food. So again, the African fashion show has been really a fascinating project, because it has just not just a fashion, it's about a collaboration with lots of businesses. So our models are on disability, some of the models are different sizes, body sizes, so it's very inclusive, again supporting some of these local designers here and the designers in Africa that I work with the school.
That is fantastic. So what's your goal for your business?
My goal for my business is to be sustainable in itself, that it grows, that eventually, like, I would like to start something else, so I would like to sell it to someone. So having systems in place that you're talking about onboarding earlier, having a system in place that it has a written program that in the future, maybe another, 10 years from now, I can sell the women's lifestyle coaching. So it could be
Okay.
more than just a lifestyle. It could be a product that offers other services.
Okay. So if you were to sell your coaching business, what would you do with all that extra time?
That's a great question, Simon. So I'm very innovative. I love projects. I love creating projects, like, doing retreats and taking women out nature. I have a feeling that I'll create something also in Mozambique, in South Africa, because I'm building my community there, as I'm also going there once a year to work with a project with building schools. I'm taking people. So that continuation of the relationship building that people I'm already connecting with, I can see also business aspects of it growing as a consulting, as an international consulting. I'm not just staying here in Portland, Oregon, but I'm also working. So I can see myself growing in that aspect of creating something. I don't know what it is. Maybe retreats in South Africa, and maybe in Mozambique, or maybe in a conference somewhere. So I'm always innovating, recreating, and creating new things. So I know there'll be something fun and exciting, whichever what will be next. And I love to be outside in the outdoors. So and I love to travel. So hopefully, maybe I can travel more to do public speaking to all the places I've always wanted to go, and I can get hired, and then I can travel and feed my joy of traveling and speaking.
Yeah, fantastic. Those are great goals, and it's definitely doable. I know that, and I would love for you to do that as well, because I mean, why stay here when you can be global, and so many more people can know you, and you can share what you know with a lot more people. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. So right now you are attracting people, attracting new leads through the retreats that you do. So right now you're doing a retreat, or how often are you doing the retreat?
So right now is I do a retreat every 4 weeks. So it's again
Oh,
here
every
in North.
4 weeks. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Um,
I also do public speaking, different platforms, different places. People hire me to come and speak in front in stages as well. So those are another leads I'm able to add that
yeah.
into my email list.
Okay. So, so the people who come to your retreats, they're part of your world and you're staying in touch with them, right? What about the people that you meet on the stage while you're on the stage or they see you on stage? Then what happens after that? How do you stay in touch with them?
So, the people that I meet on stage, especially like other businesses or other people who are on stage, I follow up with an email and then I schedule a call with them so we could do a Zoom interconnection. You don't know how that relation will take on to the next level, and I've done that where that's how I've ended up in different stages in Florida and New Orleans because of that follow up. And then the people that I get emails from, I usually add them on my email list and then I send them an email of following up and then give them my contact and also give them my social media if they want to know more of the things that I do so they can follow through. And then in my email also have other events that's happening in Portland, Oregon, or if I'll be traveling somewhere to speak or a podcast and things like that.
Okay. And are you doing trainings on a consistent basis as well, or is that part of is that part of your are you doing it as a lead magnet like free trainings or are the trainings part of another offer that you're offering your clients?
I haven't done free training for my clients because I do a lot of workshops in my community here. So some of them
Okay.
I was collaborating with other businesses. And then once a year I do like a goal setting where it's free, where it gives people the opportunity to come to my goal setting workshop for free to set up goals for the new year. But I
Mhm.
don't have a consistency where I host my own workshop because I'm collaborating with other businesses.
Okay, so you're collaborating with other businesses and and you're getting some clients through that as well.
Yes, I get some new clients and new people on my email list, and also those connection on social media that they're curious about. Because every time I do something, I not only send a newsletter, I also put it on social media to let them know what be doing so they can come along on
Mhm.
the journey.
Okay, fantastic. And so when you're putting information out on social media, are you putting flyers? Are you one of those people that drops a flyer, or are you putting what is your social media
That's a
announcement look like?
so recently I was going to go check out a client who was hosting a Chinese fashion show. So what I did, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this and I'm gonna meet a few friends for dinner. Who would like to join me for dinner and come to this event? So you get that
Oh,
one
that sounds
hour of dinner.
great.
I mean, like who doesn't want to kind of, I mean, food is a great connection. Like,
Yes, it
so
is.
I
Yes, it
said, hey,
is.
come and meet. I'm gonna be at this restaurant with a few friends, and so that way I'm opening it up. So like, hey, I'm your homegirl, so I'm not just Rukshana Triem, whatever. I wanted to be personable. Say, come join me for dinner, and then after that, come join me for the event. So that way we can support our local events in our backyard. So that's more of a personable something, personable. How I do things is I invite everybody on the journey, and I said, hey, I'm gonna be in Victoria for the weekend, and this day on Saturday I'm gonna be hanging out at the park. So if you live in that area, come join me. And then once in a while I get a text message and said, hey, can I bring my kids? Hey, can I do this? So it's again it's a great way to connect with your social media because it's not about selling, it's about building relationship, it's building
Yes,
rapport. So I look at my social media, I'm like, I want to get to know you more. It's not about me. So when I get to meet people in person, you get a little bit deeper from a different angle, and especially when they bring their family along. So you have more of a connection. So it's not just another following. It's really that relationship that you have on social media.
that's
So because I
fantastic.
travel a lot, yeah, I travel a lot. So I did I did a dinner in New Orleans. So I ended up meeting like with three people. One drove 2 hours to come and meet me for dinner. I thought that was really, really awesome. That made me very grateful for that opportunity to meet this person who came in. But she took the time out of her day to come to the dinner, and then she ended up staying in a hotel to come for the other event that I was part of, I was speaking at. So again, that relationship took on a whole new level of connection.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I gotta follow you around because you have some great ideas. I love that. I love that having dinner and just invite your social media following to just come and hang out with you for dinner. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you did say that you are following up. You have an email list. You're following up through email. You're scheduling calls with them, and I'm assuming that for your coaching clients, that's how you're converting them into your program. Do you only coach one-on-one, or are you doing group coaching as well?
I have a group coaching program, and I also have a book club so people can choose different product that they want to be a part of. And
Mhm.
also I have free walking events on Sundays. I mean, come on, Pacific Northwest kind of gets dull, and in the fall I add an extra walk here and there because it starts changing the color. So again, an opportunity for me to connect with other people, and I do them in different areas of the town so I can
Yeah.
capture different people. So I'm in Vancouver across the bridge, or I'm North Portland area or South Portland area. So that way, again, it gets us moving, exercising, and it's free, and it gets people get out and also get to socialize as well.
That is fantastic. I can see how somebody coaching with you, it gets a whole lot more than what they bargained for when they signed up. You're not just, let's meet once a week on a Zoom call and we'll talk about how to de-stress and design a lifestyle that you would like. You're actually living it and bringing others along to experience it along with you. That's fantastic.
Also, and so the other, sorry, I interrupted you, Simone,
Oh, no
there.
problem. No
One of
problem.
the beautiful things is when clients are getting into coaching, they don't have that relationship with new people with a healthy mindset. So it's so important that I create those opportunities for them, so that way they know that they have options to hang out in that. If they paid me, they're going to be working with a coach to help them. They have to change their surrounding as well. So my community, the people I'm taking them on a walk, or I'm doing an event or something like that, I want them to know that there is healthy people out there. They just have to do the initiative of showing up, which is, as 80% of the time is the success. And then also building those healthy relationship of other people they want to be like as they're growing and expanding. Because when we start taking those steps towards the healthy, to become mindful of the life that we want to create, is we have to build boundaries. We have to find the new people we hang out with. We have to get away from that thinking to a different mindset. So that means getting away from the people that we hang out with and go hang out with other people. So the hopefully my philosophy of a lifestyle coaching is you get other things than walking. You have other opportunity to come and hang out with me for dinner, so with other women, so you get to new friendships and new connection and things like that. So
Yeah,
hoping that opens up the world also for them to start thinking differently, because they're not just thinking the same way.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So you're doing all these great things. You're having the dinners, you're walking, and you've got a book club. But after your sales call, what's the onboarding like? What happens after the sales call and they say, "Yeah,
Okay.
I want to be part of your world."
Yeah, so after the onboarding call, when they do the intake, I ask them questions, and yes, they're ready to take on coaching. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send you the invoice. Go ahead and pay for our next call, so you can go ahead and pay. And sometimes, they don't have the money, so I figured out what makes it comfortable for them. When do they want to start? So I can go ahead and block those time for them, so I can check in. And if they don't have the money to start away right away, Simone, it's so important that I'm still supporting them, and they know that I got their back, even though. So I will tell them, said, in the meantime, what can I do to support you? So one of the persons said, oh, recently I just had this call this morning. She said, I'm in the midst of changing my career, my job. So I'm going to be going back to teaching, but I don't want to teach. I want to do something else. I want to do like guidance more for adults with disability. So from there on, I was like, okay, well, I have a friend who has done this as a career as well. She used to be a teacher. So let me give you her contact. So then I give you that extra resource so you can start working on the things that you want to work until when you're ready to work. So I don't just let them hang out, just leave them. I'll check in with them. Of course, I put them on the email list so that way they can follow up with the email. And then it'll be like my checklist too. So once in a while, I'll send her a text message and say, hey, just checking in. Did you connect with that person that I connected? So that way they have that guidance because when we get into that mindfulness of trying to try new things, it can be scary. And then we
Yeah.
just need those baby step support.
Coaches, are clients slipping through the cracks in your business, even at 6 or 7 figures? Don't skip this. You're about to find out why your sales growth feels stuck. You're amazing at coaching, but behind the scenes, leads fall through the cracks, admin tasks eat your time, and scaling feels harder than it should. It's not your fault. Your business is leaking opportunities you don't even see. That's why I created free resource 66 strategy holes that are blocking your sales growth. It shows you the exact blind spots in your client lifecycle where you're losing time, money, and clients. So you can finally grow with ease. And these strategies work. One of my clients plugged in just one of my automated systems and grew her revenue 300% while saving over 10 hours every single week. Imagine what fixing just half of these 66 holes could do for you. If you're a serious growth minded coach, stop patching leaks and start scaling with confidence. Join my free online community today and grab your copy of 66 strategy holes that are blocking your sales growth. Click below and get it now. I feel like you kind of cover this naturally. One of the steps in my program is called surprise, delight, and wow.
I love that.
It sounds like it's something that you do, whether they're a client or not. You're supporting them, you're providing resources, you're providing that wow factor, just kind of naturally bringing them along, helping them to build friendships and surround themselves with healthier people. Um, I mean, can you think of anything else that you do that's like wow factor that brings the wow?
think I feel like empathy, understanding with people where they are. Like it's okay if they didn't get they didn't take your coaching or your retreat, but
Mhm.
it's also understanding that person that their journey because it's not just one way street. Like she didn't
Right.
hire me. No, it's really like I'm here to help. If there's nothing that I could help them with my coaching, what else can I offer that's free that doesn't take an energy? That connection of that
Mhm.
email, that text. So I think having empathy is really such an important connection that makes us very human, connected
Yeah.
to a human. Yeah. Sometimes as businesses, we get lost in that transaction process.
Mhm.
And really, when we connect with empathy, we can get to know the person and it becomes more than just a transaction.
Right. So that's fantastic. That and it makes a lot of sense. So we already talked about some of the other offers you have. So say they went through your coaching program and they're graduating. Um, you offer them the opportunity to speak on a stage, TED style, tell their story. Um, what else are you offering them? Do they get to be a part of the fashion show? Do they get to be a part of all of
I,
that?
Of course. I mean there was the young kid last year and he wanted to do coaching but he wasn't ready for coaching, right? He was in a lot of things was happening. So And so I'm like, hey, I'm hosting a fashion show 1 year. This year, would you like to be part of something? And he's like, well, I love photography. I'm like, okay. I mean, we're always looking for photographers. And then he's like, but I really want to try modeling. I've always thought about, do you think I'm too old? I'm like, no, you're just fine. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a father of five. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Who says you can't be a model when you're a father of five? It's giving those opportunities for people. I'm like, part of the fashion show is really telling your story as you're wearing that garment. So it doesn't really matter, it's our fashion is very diversified. So he ended
Hmm.
up being on the fashion show. He had so much fun. And
Oh,
when I
that's
see his
awesome.
pictures and I know his story, the connection of it. So giving them opportunity to try new things. And I think I am in that world where I have so much going on that there's always connection, or there's always resources that I can to that person, because I am connected to so many people with a big production like that. So
Yeah.
yes, they can be a model, they could be a designer, they could be a
Mhm.
makeup artist, they could be a dancer and performer, they could be an African drummer. So one of those aspects, they could cater African food, or you know what I mean, things like that. And they want to provide. This year we have somebody who's offering African dance. Reached out to her. She's been learning drumming, so she wants to use some of that skill performing at the fashion show. So that's gonna be fun to watch her use that new skill that she learned and share that with the whole community.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So I'm assuming you're getting lots of referrals. Are you orchestrating them at all, or are you just kind of waiting until somebody brings your referral? What happens there?
I get referrals from the fashion show, from the
Mhm.
retreat, or from the public speaking. I'm not reaching out to different people for referrals because they're coming organically. And
Mhm.
that's something I used to reach out before. I used to reach out to previous clients and say, hey, who do you know who you could refer?
Mhm.
So where I feel like I'm at that point where, because I'm in the mass production stage, so people know about me, so they kind of they tag me to a lot of events or a lot of posts that someone has posted, or they're curious, or an email.
Mhm.
So those are coming organically.
Okay. So now that they're coming organically, are they coming consistently and just, like, are you getting a steady flow of referrals?
Not a steady flow. I think the most of referrals come in after the fashion show, or come in
Mm-hmm.
after our what we call it, the confidence speakers catalyst, or they come
Mm-hmm.
in after a special event that I've hosted. That's when usually that comes in that time. And then once in a while someone will tag me and said, hey, reached out to Rukshana. Hey, you're looking for a retreat, reach out to Rukshana. So I get tagged in different Facebook groups that people tag me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, from what I can see, with your goal being setting this business up as a business that you can sell and be able to walk away from and do some other things, um, you're gonna have to be intentional about replacing yourself. What do you think about that?
Scary but exciting. Yes, I'm scared because that means I have to do more work on organization of the program.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I focus on with my clients is leveraging other people's time and talents, as well as leveraging the technology to automate a lot of what we do. You've got an email list, which is great. You probably have an online calendar system, which is great. So tying that in with a system that will automatically ask for referrals would be good. So to kind of keep that steady flow going there. Also having something in place that will automatically um, will get you a steady flow of leads, whether you're having a big event or not, you know. So social media is great for that, but making sure that, people are getting maybe a cool lead magnet, an invitation to the fashion show, or, something that's just gonna keep them connected. That doesn't necessarily depend on you, that shines your beautiful personality, but doesn't necessarily depend on you. But the other thing that I was thinking of, in order for you to be able to step away from your coaching business, I feel like even if your coaching business has your name on it, um, that you will have to probably train some other coaches, maybe license your process,
Mhm.
you know? Um, yeah. And teach what you do. You can't teach your personality, but
No.
you can bring somebody in who has a bubbly, outgoing personality, somebody who likes people, and train them to do what you do, just in their own way. But they are licensed, or they're certified by you
Mhm.
as a lifestyle coach to work in your way, and have the systems, have and delegate out to the people, and have a system going that will work without you, so that eventually, yeah, you can sell it and step away, and it keeps going, and it still has your personality, your vivaciousness, and your, all that you bring to it. Just, you know, whether you're there or not, you're special. When you show up, it's like, oh my gosh, Rukshana's here. But most of the time, they're just the system is moving along, whether you're there or not, you know? What do you
Yes.
think of that? Does that make
That's
sense?
yeah, that's just it totally makes sense. Everything what you said, it makes sense. Yes. I can see that. I
Yeah, you
yeah,
can see it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise, I feel like right now you're the it girl. You're the
True.
star of the show.
Yeah, but it won't be. I mean, I think like every company, like every business, the leader needs to step down so that way they can work on their mental health. I mean, I could totally see as the evolution happens and the more busy it comes. So I could totally see that. Yes. So the importance of separating yourself from the business and building that, letting the business grow in itself by stepping down. So yes,
Yeah,
and I can see moments where I was like, okay, how long can my mental health be on this line as this thing grows,
yeah,
and also, it's also as a business owner, also knowing that you have built it, having the detachment from it, allowing yourself to trust that other people are good enough to take on. So I like what you said, is part of that. You cannot train your personality, but you can have a systems in place to train them to take on. So that means training the coaches. Do they have the same value, or interviewing the coaches to be part of that community? Do they have the same value as you do? And
yeah,
does it match what you're trying to coach? Does it match to your clientele as well? I love,
yeah,
I love, I love everything you're saying, Simone. It totally makes sense.
yeah,
I hadn't thought about it in that way. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Um, I was telling another coach. I spoke to her this morning, and she was asking me, um, can is it possible to train somebody else to do things exactly the way I do it, right? And I said, well, it is possible to delegate what you do, but we do have to let go, because nobody else is going to do things exactly the way we do it, because they're not us. They don't have our same background, they don't have the same personality, they don't have the same thought patterns, they don't, you can teach them your system, and you can teach them like why you do what you do. But they may especially as a coach, right? A coach is a thinking person, right? That a coach isn't just like, they're not the same as the VAs that we hire overseas. We just tell them, you know, send this email out, and they just send the email out, right? A coach is going to be talking to your clients and, that kind of thing. So where you might recommend going for a walk, they might recommend getting a dog and petting the dog every day,
Right. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or getting one of those row machines and rowing and like
Yeah.
exercising your whole body
Yeah.
with breeze blowing, fan going,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I like that. But you said you got to the point right there. You said you're the it girl.
Yeah.
You fitted all the boxes. You're the it girl. But you see, that's the thing is, not every coach like me. You know what I mean? Not every coach host a retreat. But yeah, absolutely. And I think I've always thought about that, but I've never been put in my situation. But when I get there, I'm thinking my thinking will be different. But
Yeah.
I think because I create so many things and I have collaborators on the team, I would hope that would be easy when we get there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would have to work through my mindset to let go, but it will take a little time. I trust the process will be amazing when I get there.
Yes. Yeah. I think it will be. I think it will be. You seem like a person who keeps a positive attitude, you
Yeah.
know, even when things aren't exactly the way you want them to be.
Yeah. Well, there was a point, like my husband got sick a couple years ago and I had to pause everything and I didn't close everything, but I was thinking about closing. I said, well, if this goes to the worst, then I'm going to have to close my business. It was scary, but then I realized that, this is not the end. This is just a different chapter. It was scary to see the things I had built so much, put so much energy in it, and
Yeah.
envisioning it closing down, but I had to shift a little bit. But he got better, he got stronger, and then I was at that moment I couldn't take any clients. I was referring, I was referring all my clients over to my other business partners or my business coach as I did intake and having those conversations. So it just really what it did for me, it built more of a relationship with other coaches and that
Mhm.
bond that I can send referral to all the people that not all of them, to a few people that I'm connected with, which became really good friends as well. So I learned a lot from that experience, but it made me think about that. I'm like, oh, what our conversation today made me think about that moment where, okay, maybe it'll come down to me closing down my business and open a new chapter. But I'm glad it didn't, and I pushed through and we put a pause on it, and now we're like, yeah. So, but now we're thinking, and I'm having this conversation with you. How would that look like? So I'm gonna get off the phone. My mind is gonna be going 100 miles an hour and thinking about, okay, Simone, I'll be calling you when that time comes on because I don't know what I'll be doing. So that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would love to maybe sit down with you and we can maybe even map out a strategy. I can help you map out a strategy. So, um, yeah, I was actually part of a coaching program that my coach was licensing it from another coach.
Nice, nice.
And she introduced us to the other coach. Did we ever? I don't think we met her in person. Um, we met her, well, we got to see her on a YouTube video and some other videos and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, it was like, oh, my coach has a coach. How very interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I always thought about. Okay, if I had to franchise, let's say it's called African Fashion Show PDX. Okay, the name, it's African Fashion Show PDX. If we can franchise what we do, because
Yeah,
we know that fashion show hosts a fashion show. It's just a fashion show, but ours, it's a theater production. How can
yeah.
we turn what we created into doing it in different states, in different cities, or maybe in South
Mm,
Africa? Because it is a beautiful, unique concept where it works with businesses. Number
yeah.
one. Number two is it brings community together, so everybody is inclusive. So, plus size, disability, or different color skin in a celebration of Africa. And I'm like, if we
That's
can take that
fantastic.
if we can take that and flip it around and do it in Atlanta, in Chicago, like
Yeah,
in
I
LA,
think it would be awesome. You know,
what I've
I
been dreaming
remember
is,
I did show you that video that I
oh, that,
posted.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
I
yes,
mean, it went viral,
yes,
2.2 million
yes.
views. Just
Mhm.
an African fashion show
Huh?
with people of all different sizes wearing
Uh-huh.
clothes that we can actually wear and move in, and
Absolutely.
dancing and smiling and having a good time. And I mean, they just absolutely loved it. I got so many new followers because of that video.
That's
You
awesome.
know, you can franchise that and
Yes.
take that
I,
around the world, have a fashion show that of with people who look like us
yeah.
and who are having fun and
Yeah.
enjoying themselves. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
when you're talking about expansion, that's what I'm really kind of zoned in, because this is our fifth year knowing that. But that would be something of vision. But I would love that. Simone, I would love a strategy session to take that and see visioning, even just have a clarity of a visioning where we're heading and how that looks like in a bigger aspect. Because what it includes is we have a videographer, a photography who handles this. We have someone who's
yeah,
writing systems this year. I specifically hired someone to write down the systems, because I knew that we're going further out. So
yeah,
she's doing the inboarding. How does the model casting look like? How that does designer casting like? The systems A, B, and C. What are the agreements and all of those things? So this year, that's what we're doing. Since it's our fifth year, I'm like, okay, let's write the program. So we are writing the
yeah,
program, and what's next is how can we take it to the next level?
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. We should definitely do that. Okay, so do you have a gift for my audience today, or are we sending everyone to your homepage?
I don't have a gift page. You can send everybody to my homepage, and
Okay,
you can
and
opportunity.
that's at womenslifestylecoaching.com.
Yes.
Okay, the link will be in the show notes, and you can connect with Rukshana. She would love to connect with you because she likes people.
Yes, I
Who
do.
knows? Maybe you can go on a walk and one of those Sunday walks. I think it's fantastic. So wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with me today and giving us a look inside your business. And I think what you're doing is wonderful. I love the idea of the fashion show and just the connecting women to other women and so that they can have some authentic, positive relationships. I think that's fantastic. And thank you for what you're doing because sometimes it's hard to build those relationships um, as women. So
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much, Rukshana.
Thank you.
All righty. And definitely comment on this video. What did you like? And what suggestions do you have for Rukshana? And subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share this out and spread the word and let others know about Rukshana, the women's fashion show, the lifestyle coaching, because more women need to know. All right. I'm going to leave it there. See you next time. Thank you for watching my video. If this content has helped you in any way, help me to share this with others by subscribing to this channel. And please click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, like the video and don't forget to comment below your biggest takeaway so that we can share it with others. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.